what Krishna gave them the instructions to those kings. I think the whole essence of our philosophy is included in 1.5 page of instruction of Krishna. So at the end, I would like to read those 4 or 5 lines, which is the essence of that chapter was, that if the people of the world divide the whole society in terms of their respective material qualities into 4 orders for material and spiritual progress, centering around Krishna and following the instructions of Krishna as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the entire human society will undoubtedly be happy. This is the lessons that we have to take from this incidents of Jarasandha's story. So we will be starting the chapter 19 from the 2nd volume of Krishna book. Now the deliverance of Sisupal. Also, I would like to mention that I would like to attend the Bhagavatam class of His Holiness Ramapat Swami Maharaj. So we'll stop our session today at 6:55 sharp, so I can get ready and go there at 7:30. Local devotees can come, and the other devotees out of time, if they would like to hear, they can join through the Mayapur TV and put on the ISKCON of Houston live, and you can hear. So chapter 9, the title is Deliverance of Sisupal. King Yudhishthira became extremely happy after hearing the details of the Jarasandha episode. And then he spoke. This is beauty, that all these devotees we see, they share the realization, they share the feeling, they put forward. We see the gopis, one gopi will say something, other gopi will say. But we see that when we ask the devotee to say something, they are containing the thoughts within themselves. So here is the Yudhishthira Maharaj speaking. My dear Krishna, O eternal form of bliss and knowledge, all the exalted directors of the affair of this material world, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva and King Indra, are always anxious to receive and carry out order from you. And whenever they are fortunate enough to receive such orders, we have to become fortunate to receive the instructions, even of our spiritual master. So many devotees, they never get the specific instructions. And we see that the Tamal Krishna Maharaj says that within 5 years after the departure of Prabhupada, out of 10,000 only few hundreds, less than 1,000 devotees survive. So don't think that we have the taste to remain in this moment. Maya Devi is very strong. And what they do, whenever they are fortunate enough to receive such orders, what they did to do, they immediately take them and keep them in their hearts, like Srila Prabhupada. He got instruction in 1922, and it took him many years before he dedicated, but he never forgot the instruction of his spiritual master. That was the purpose of his life. Oh Krishna, Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, you are unlimited. Take them. Oh, you are unlimited, and although we sometimes think of ourselves as royal kings and rulers of the world and become puffed up over our paltry positions, we are very poor in heart. And yesterday also the class was titled, I attended the class, and even I know that I have to take some austerity. So I wrote to Maharaj that I want to ride with you every single day. And Maharaj misunderstood that, because before that we were chatting about the trip to Badrinath. So Maharaj thought that I'm asking him that I would like to ride with him in the Badrinath Yatra. So Maharaj says that Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj is sick and we have to have some servant and some medical person with him, and I am there, so I can arrange you with another car. And I said, Maharaj, I can never ask you the favor from you like that. I just want to come in Houston program. Maharaj, so kind. So these prove that little things that we get in our life, we become proud. And proud is the first sign of the downfall. Actually, we are fit to be punished by you. But the wonder is that instead of punishing us, you so kindly and mercifully accept our orders and carry them out properly. Others are very surprised that your Lordship can play the part of an ordinary human being. But these Pandavas, they can understand that you are performing this activity just like a dramatic artist. Your real position is always exalted, exactly like that of a sun, which always remains at the same temperature, both during the time of its rising and time of the setting. Although we feel the difference in temperature between the rising and the setting sun, the temperature of the sun never changes. Haribol. You are always transcendentally equipoised, and thus you are neither pleased nor disturbed by any condition of material affairs. So when we get the association of Krishna, those qualities will automatically will come, and we will be able to remain fixed, peaceful. You are the Supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead, and for you there are no relatives. My dear Madhava, you are never defeated by anyone. Material distinctions, this is me, this is you, this is mine, this is yours, are all conspicuous by dint of their absence in you. Such distinctions are visible in the lives of everyone, even the animals. But those who are pure devotees are freed from these false distinctions. Since these distinctions are absent in your devotees, they cannot possibly be present in you. Unquote. After satisfying Krishna in this way, King Yudhishthira arranged to perform the Rajasviya sacrifice. He invited all the qualified Brahmanas and sages to take part and appointed them to different positions as priests in charge of the sacrificial arena. He invited the most expert Brahmanas and sages, whose names are as follows: Krishna Dvaipayana, Vyasadeva, Bharadwaj, Shramantu, Gautam, Asit, Vasistha, Chavana, Kanva, Maitreya, Kavasha, Trita, Vishwamitra, Vamandev, Shumati, Jaimini, Kratu, Paila, Parashar, Garg, Viswampayana, Atharva, Kashyapa, Dhumya, Parshuram, Shukracharya, Ashuri, Vitihotra, Madhuchanda, Vishana, and Akrutavrana. Beside all these Brahmana and sages, he invited such respectful old men as Dronacharya, Bhisma, the grandfather of the Kurus, Kripacharya, and Dhritarashtra. He also invited all the sons of Dhritarashtra, headed by Duryodhana, and the great devotee Vidura, who also invited kings from the different part of the world, along with their minister and secretaries, were also invited to see the great sacrifice performed by King Yudhishthira. And the citizen, comprising learned Brahmanas, chivalrous Kshatriyas, well-to-do Vaisyas, and faithful Sudras, all visited this wonderful ceremony. Haribol. The Brahmanas, priests, and sages in charge of the sacrificial ceremony constructed the sacrificial arena as usual with a flow of gold, and they initiated King Yudhishthira as the performer of the great sacrifice in accordance with the Vedic rituals. Long years ago, when Varuna performed a similar sacrifice, all the sacrificial utensils were made of gold. Similarly, in the Rajasuya sacrifice of King Yudhishthira, all the utensils required for the sacrifice were made from gold. In order to participate in a great sacrifice performed by the King Yudhishthira, all the exalted demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Indra, the King of Heaven, accompanied by their associates, as well as the predominant deities of the higher planetary systems like Gandharvaloka, Siddhaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Nagaloka, Yakshaloka, Rakshaloka, Pakshiloka, and Charanloka, as well as famous kings and their queens, were all present by the invitation of King Yudhishthira. All the respectable sages, kings, and demigods who assembled there unanimously agreed that King Yudhishthira was quite competent to take the responsibility of performing the Rajasuya sacrifice. No one was in disagreement on this fact. All of them knew thoroughly the position of King Yudhishthira because he was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. No accomplishment was extraordinary for him. The learned Brahmana and priest saw to it that the sacrifice by Maharaj Yudhishthira was performed in exactly the same way as in bygone ages by the demigod Varuna. According to the Vedic system, whenever there is an arrangement for sacrifice, the members participating in the sacrifice are offered the juice of Soma plant. The juice of the Soma plant is a kind of life-giving beverage. On the day of extracting the Soma juice, King Yudhishthira very respectfully received the special priest who had been engaged to detect any mistake in the formalities of sacrificial procedures. The idea is that the Vedic mantras must be enunciated perfectly and chanted with proper assent. And we see the example that King Indra, when he pronounced not properly, the result was opposite and Vritrashura appeared. We see the wonderful story. If the priest who are engaged in this business commit any mistake, the checker or referee priest immediately correct the procedure, and thus the ritualistic performance are perfectly executed. Unless it is perfectly executed, a sacrifice cannot yield the desired result. In this age of Kali, there is no such learned Brahmana or priest available. Therefore, all such sacrifices are forbidden. The only sacrifice is recommended in the Shastras is chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Another important procedure is that the most exalted personality in the assembly of such a sacrificial ceremony is first offered worship. After all arrangements were made for Yudhishthir's sacrifice, the next consideration was who should be worshipped first in the ceremony. This particular ceremony is called Agra Puja. Agra means first and Puja means worship. This Agra Puja is similar to election of the president. In the sacrificial assembly, all the members were very exalted, as we see, great persons were there. Some proposed to elect one person as the perfect candidate for accepting Agra Puja. Another proposed someone else. So when the matter remained undecided, Sahadeva, the son, he's very nice, actually. Jarasanda's son was nice. He began to speak in favor of Lord Sri Krishna. He said as follows, Sahadeva, great person. Lord Krishna, the best among the members of the Yadu dynasty and the protector of his devotees, is the most exalted personality in this assembly. Therefore, I think that he should, without any objection, be offered the honor of being worshipped first. Although demigods such as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, the king of heavenly planets, and many other exalted personalities are present in this assembly, no one can be equal to or greater than Krishna in terms of time, space, riches, strength, reputation, wisdom, renunciation, or any other considerations. As we see Madhuram, Madhuram, everything is so beautiful. Similarly, Krishna is the super soul of this cosmic manifestation. All kind of Vedic ritualistic ceremonies, such as the performance of sacrifices, the offering of oblations in the fire, the chanting of the Vedic hymns, and the practice of mystic yoga, all are meant for realizing Krishna. Whether one follow the path of fruitive activities or the path of philosophical speculations, the ultimate destination is Krishna. All bona fide methods of self-realization are meant for understanding Krishna. And that's why Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita also give him all kind of different procedure to approach him. But finally he revealed that only through the devotion one can approach Krishna, not any other way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sahadevi speaking. It is superfluous to speak about Krishna because every one of you exalted personality knows the Supreme Brahman Lord Krishna, for whom there are no material difference between body and the soul. Absolute. Between energy and the energetic, or between one part of the body and another. Since everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna, Haribol, there is no qualitative difference between Krishna and all living entities. Everything is an emanation of Krishna's energy, material and spiritual energies. Krishna's energies are like the heat and the light of the fire. There is no difference between the quality of heat and light and the fire itself. He continued, also, Krishna can do anything he likes with any part of his body. We can execute a particular actions with the help of a particular part of our body. But Krishna, he can do anything and everything with any part of his body. And because of this, his transcendental body is full of knowledge and bliss in eternity. He doesn't undergo the 6 kinds of material changes: birth, existence, growth, fruitive actions, dwindling, and vanishing. Unforced by any external energy, he is the supreme cause of the creation, maintenance, and dissolutions of everything that be. We see that how perfectly he managed the universe, everything worked so perfectly. But we have no faith when Krishna says that I will maintain you, I will protect you. How far deep influence of Mahadev is. He doesn't undergo the 6 kinds of material changes. Unforced by any external energy, he is the supreme cause of creation, maintenance, and dissolutions of everything that be. By the grace of Krishna only, everyone is engaged in practice of religiousness, the development of economic conditions, the satisfaction of the senses, and ultimately the achievement of liberation from material bondage. Everything happening by the grace of Krishna. These 4 principles of progressive life can be executed by the mercy of Krishna only. He should therefore be offered the first worship of this great sacrifice, and no one should disagree. It's forceful, Sahadev. As by watering the root, the watering of the branches, twig, leaves, and flowers is automatically accomplished. Or as by supplying food to the stomach, the nutrition and metabolism of all parts of the body are automatically established. So by offering the first worship to Krishna, everyone present in this meeting, including the great demigods, will be satisfied. If anyone is charitably disposed, it will be very good for him to give in charity only to Krishna, who is the super soul of everyone, regardless of his particular body or individual personality. Krishna is present as the super soul in every living being. And if we can satisfy him, then automatically every living being becomes satisfied. Haribol. He finished. So Sahadev was fortunate to know of the glories of Krishna. And after describing them in brief, he stopped speaking. After this speech was delivered, all the members present in the great sacrificial assembly applauded, confirming his words continuously by saying, quote, Everything that you have said is completely perfect. Everything that you have said is completely perfect. King Yudhishthir, after hearing the confirmation of all present, especially of the Brahmanas and the learned sages, who worship Lord Krishna according to the regulative principles of the Vedic injunctions. First of all, King Yudhishthir, along with his brothers, wives, children, other relatives, and ministers, washed the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and sprinkled the water on their heads. After this, Lord Krishna was offered various kinds of silken garment of yellow color, and heaps of jewelry and ornaments were presented before him for his use. King Yudhishthir felt such ecstasy by honoring Krishna, who was his only lovable object, that tears glided down from his eyes. And although he wanted to, he could not see Lord Krishna very well. Lord Krishna was thus worshipped by King Yudhishthira. You know, the intent, whatever activity do, what is the intent? That is more important than the physical activity that we perform. And we see the intent of King Yudhishthira, how much he has that feeling in his heart. When we chant the holy name, it should not be dry. As Radhanath Swami Maharaj always say, finishing round, if that is your goal, that's what you get. You finish your 16 round, that's it. You won't get nothing, no love of Krishna, if that is your intent. But your intent from your heart is crying out that how fallen I am that I have no taste for chanting Krishna's, your wonderful name. That all the great sages is praising like anything. They do all. And they studied all the scriptures for the benefit of this age of the Kali. Because they know that we are very short-lived. We are misguided, we are unfortunate, and we are always disturbed. How can you find out the truth? We don't have time. So they are so kind, and they come up with the conclusion, just chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and you will deliver your soul. How grateful we need to be to those personalities who has bring us the jewel of our life. And we see how Yudhishthira Maharaj is, he cannot see one Krishna. Just think about it. How much feeling he should have by worshipping Krishna. When we worship the deity, do we have that sense? Even 1%? We do lousy work. At that time, all the members present in that assembly stood up. Just see the scene. So many great personalities. They all stood up with folded hand and began to chant, Jai Jai Namaha Namaha. When all joined together to offer their respectful obeisances to Krishna, there were showers of flowers from the sky. Always demigods do this. This is common. So, we have a couple of minutes so we can deal. In that meeting, King Sisupal was also present. He was an avowed enemy of Krishna for many reasons, especially because of Krishna's having stolen Rukmini from the marriage ceremony. Therefore, he could not tolerate such honor to Krishna and glorification of his qualities. instead of being happy to hear the glories of the Lord, he became very angry. When everyone offered respect to Krishna by standing up, Shishupal was the only one who remained in his seat. But when he became angry at Krishna's being honored, Shishupal stood up suddenly and raising his hand began to speak very strongly and fearlessly against Lord Krishna. And he spoke in such a way that Lord Krishna could hear him very distinctly. So we will be looking forward to hear the speech of Shishupal tomorrow. This is so nice, huh? Know about the details of Krishna's life, how glorious. Krishna Katha is important for better chanting. So this is very nice. We should be punctual in our service. So it's 6:54. So with those thoughts, I deeply appreciate these devotees who is taking austerity to give their kind association. Otherwise, where our devotion would be, Alone we cannot be able to sustain our devotional practice. We need company of these sincere devotees. Then our life will become very pleasing. So I would like to sincerely thank and offer my humble obeisances at the dusk of these wonderful devotees. Like yesterday, devotee came because now we have so many programs, so many Maharajas in Houston at the same time. So they knows one devotee that I have the Bose sound system. So they said, Prabhuji, you have it? Can we borrow it for other program? I said, yes. When he came, I offered my humble obeisances. I said, Prabhuji, you give me the chance to offer the obeisances. We should offer. If not physically, then mentally, definitely. Otherwise, what is the hope of keeping the humility? So I would like to offer sincere obeisances at the feet of all these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavi who joined from Houston, from Fresno, New Hampshire, Aurora, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Phoenix, Tempe, Austin, College Station, San Jose, Portland, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Baltimore, Baton Rouge, Alaska, Orlando, Sanford, Jacksonville, St. Louis, Loganville, Georgia, Maine, Ottawa, Toronto, Calcutta, Pondicherry, Bangalore, and Pickering. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhavaya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much. Looking forward. If Krishna so desire, we'll see you at 2 o'clock. Central Standard. Danvat. So thank you very much. I'll have to get ready.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Arvind Prabhu, now you